Enemy cruiser sunk.
Hello everyone, Fresh Potato back with another video, and we are back in the Tier 8 Italian battleship, the Marco Polo, and we are on everyone's favorite map, Two Brothers. Yeah. I can't stand this map, and I know I'm not the only one. My anxiety jumps a little bit every time I get this map. When I see that we're gonna be on this map, my stress level goes up a teeny little bit. I don't like this map. And like I said, I know I'm not the only one. But here on Two Brothers, when I start middle, I like to sit here and be patient, because sometimes straight ahead, straight over the island or islands, or through the middle channel, you can sometimes catch the enemy off guard and hit them, catch them broadside off guard. You can lob the island there. So when I start mid, I like to sit still for maybe the first 2 to 3 minutes of the battle. But here, the Baltimore pushing in a little bit too aggressive. We line them up with the SAP. And of course, we're going to yoink the kill, giving us our first kill of the game and our first blood medal. And here we go. The YOLO people, right? This is what Two Brothers is famous for. When you YOLO up Two Brothers, don't be reckless. Okay, guys? It's not something you want to always do, or just... it's for the really experienced players when it comes to this map. Flying up the middle is not something that's recommended, okay? And when you're flying up the middle, you don't expect to run into a Marco Polo staring right at you, okay? So those guys kind of panicked a little bit. They ran off to the side there, but, well, there's not a lot of room you can, when you're stuck in this channel here, there's not a lot of maneuvering room. But you see there, the Plymouth smoke up, but we line up the superstructure and we nail him. You couldn't see it because he's in the smoke, but trust me, we nailed him. Look at his HP. We took half of it. Yeah, that was all us. And the Plymouth, somebody launched torpedoes way off. But that's what happens when you're kind of stuck in a situation, and you have to figure out how you're going to get out of this. if you're the red team here, the Plymouth, and here comes the Turpits. You see? Here comes the Turpit. But we're going to go ahead and line up the Plymouth again. Superstructure shot. We get our second kill of the game, bringing our total to 31,000 damage. And when you're on Two Brothers, that is another thing you have to worry about. Or not worry about, but you have to expect. The old German battleship flying down the middle. The guy that wants to use his torpedoes right off the bat. That's not what you want to do in your German battleship. You don't want to fly into the enemy area just to use your torpedoes. Like I say before, we all know it is very satisfying, okay? It is one of the most satisfying things on the game. And that's to land your torpedoes and get hits and kills using torpedoes. It is very satisfying. But it's not a reason to go flying in there recklessly, guys, when you're in your German battleship. You have to be patient. Be patient and be more aware of the situation. So here we're going to line up the superstructure again. And you see there, SAP did not hit the superstructure. My SAP hit his belt. And that's the result of SAP to belt, guys, new players. You get absolutely nothing, or maybe a little, but you can see there I got absolutely nothing out of that hit. So you don't want to aim belt when you're using SAP. You want to shoot superstructure shots always and all the time. So here I'm waiting for the reload. I accidentally pressed my AP, and that's because it's a habit, alright? It's a habit. I switched to AP when I saw the broadside, but I remembered, wait a minute, this is SAP challenge, SAP only challenge. Let me go back to the SAP, and that's what I did. but we did get a good hit with the AP. You know, and I know, yeah, you might be saying, well, why don't you just stick with the AP? This is my SAP challenge, okay? I sometimes I need to switch it up. You know, that's what keeps the game interesting to me. You can't just keep playing the same ships, doing the same thing over and over again. You know, you gotta, switch it up. But here, we line up that other cruiser and we nailed them pretty good. And this Tirpitz is going to be taken out by our friendly torpedoes there. And the Baltimore, well, the Baltimore, again, stuck in this tiny area, nowhere to go. This is why you should be very cautious when you're flying up that channel on the Two Brothers map. So we line up superstructure again. We take the shot. We knock him out. We get our third kill of the game, bringing our total damage to 79,000. So here, we're on our smoke, but we're going to leave the smoke. It is time to push forward. Our side is cleared, and new players, when your side is cleared, well, it's time to push into the cap that's not capped, okay? And cap it, okay? Remember. So I'm going to push here, trying to meet up with that Otago, and I believe I saw a Kansas. And we meet up with them and give them a piece of our minds, right? But here comes the Amalfi. So this is where I make my decision. You know what? Let me not just fly into the A cap. Let's evaluate the situation. Let me kind of turn out, maybe do an angle here, and wait for this Amalfi to pop out of this beautiful creeping smoke, and see what we can do with this Amalfi. You know, I don't want to go flying in there because you don't know what could be in that smoke with it. You know. There's another battleship somewhere. You never know. And we are getting spammed here. And there goes the other battleship. But here goes the Amalfi bursting out of the smoke. But we line up the superstructure shot. We get a good hit, bringing our total to 90,000. And now you see the Amalfi showing its broadside. And what does that mean? Well, it's a ship that has torpedoes, and when cruisers or battleships with torpedoes show their broadside, even destroyers, you know they're launching their torpedoes. So you want to either move out the way completely or straighten your ship towards them. That way you can squeeze through the torpedoes. But for us, we were able to move away from the path of those torpedoes, because I tell you now, those torpedoes are really slow. Took about 3 days to get here. But you see that cruiser there did a beautiful job making itself narrow to squeeze through that salvo of torpedoes. So here, now we're going to line up the Amalfi again with our SAP. See what we can do here with the nice superstructure shot. Let's see what we can do. That is not good dispersion, but someone else gets to kill. That's okay. That is okay. I'm good with that. Okay. I wanted to kill. No, I'm just kidding. All right. But hey, now we're gonna go after this Minnesota. But I'm not feeling good about this because look at our health and look at the Minnesota's health. Yeah, that's not a good matchup there. But luckily for us, we have another repair coming up in the next about 25 seconds. We just got our smoke, so we can go ahead and maybe adjust a little better here. We can show our broadside without them seeing it and adjust our angle better. And I had a decision here, and I just felt, you know what, let me go after this Minnesota instead of the cruiser. And that's because, you know, the Minnesota is a bigger target. It's slower. I can do more damage with my SAP to that ship instead of the cruiser. So that's why I'm not shooting that cruiser, even though it's pretty annoying and it's hitting us with its HE shells, keeping us on fire. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go for that Minnesota instead. I'm gonna leave the cruiser for our friendly cruiser to handle and deal with if they're, you know, down for the cause. But here we're gonna line up another superstructure shot on the Minnesota. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. No, that is not a good salvo there. Those shells were all over the place, but that's what you get when you're using SAP and the Marco Polo. The dispersion and the RNG will sometimes troll you, but you gotta practice some patience. Practice the patience and continue to fire away. Don't quit. That's part of the challenge. Is self control. Sometimes you do want to punch a wall like they do in the movies, but you got to control yourself sometimes because at the end of the day, it's just a game, right? So we take another shot there. That one was a little better. That was a little better, bringing us to 121,000 damage, and we're gonna go ahead and turn to the other side because that Minnesota doesn't want anything to do with us on this side anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and turn. See what we can do. Maybe we can line up shots on that Kansas if my teammates don't kill him first or destroy them first, shall I say. And here goes this Atago. And this Atago, it's gonna be one of those situations where if I had AP loaded, it would be good night, good night, good night. It would be a total death strike because we all know Marco Polo has maybe some of the best AP in my opinion at the tier. When the RNG is working for you, it has pretty good AP, and this would be a death strike right here. This Atago it's right perfectly lined up right here. Look at that AP death strike. But this is the SAP challenge, and the SAP is what I'm going to use. Okay. I know they're out there. Why don't you just load the AP already? No. This is a challenge, an SAP challenge. Okay, this is what we're going to use. This is what I'm using because I want to use SAP. And this Atago, it gets away. It good play on their part with the kiting. I should have got him here. And again, I know if I had AP loaded, it would have been over a long time ago. It would have been over here. But no, we got our Confederate medal out of that, and we got our defended ribbon. And new players, remember, defended ribbons are just as good, just as important as the capture ribbons. Maybe not just, but maybe a step below capture ribbons, I think, in my opinion. Defended ribbons, they work well. They help your XP greatly. They're pretty lucrative when it comes to your final grade at the end when you defend an area. So remember to get those ribbons, guys. Remember to get those ribbons. So here we're sailing along here. The time is almost up. 3 more people left, and I really want my 4th kill, and I want it on this Atago. And that's the thing with Two Brothers. That's the thing with this map. With this map, it's not a you either going to go left or you're going to go right. You can't affect the other side of the map. You can only affect the side you're on, and that's what I don't like about this map. You're stuck to just one side, and that's it. That's it. We're on the, what side is this? This is the right side, if you're at the top of the map, and we can only affect the right side. Man. And if you look at my map, my mini map, there's a few ships that are in my range, but I can't get to them because of these massive mountains on these islands. What are those, volcanoes? Man. But here we're going to try to line up this Atago. I really wanted this kill, but that Atago, was agile, really agile. Kind of, who was that, Mr. Hipper in there or something? But it was agile cruiser, and he managed to escape. But hey, he escaped the SAP at least, because AP would have taken him out. But there's the end of the game. We did okay in this one. We did okay. We got our 146,000 damage. We got we're top of the leaderboard in XP. We got the good grade, 2299. We got our 3 kills, and we got our fireproof medal, Confederate medal, dreadnought medal, first blood medal, and the high caliber. Thanks for watching.
Enemy cruiser sunk.